Francis Scott Key Fitzgerald was born on September 24, 1896 in St. Paul, Minnesota. He was known by his peers growing up to be a bright child, and he later graduated from Princeton University. He is most often associated with his unique ability to capture the essence of the American dream. Fitzgerald's most famous works include The Great Gatsby and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. The Great Gatsby is the story of Nick Carraway and his relationship with Jay Gatsby, a wealthy man who threw extravagant parties. As the story progresses, Gatsby reunites with Daisy Buchanan, a woman he used to be in love with. The story follows Gatsby in his pursuit for wealth, love, and happiness, and although he had many redeeming qualities, his end is not a happy one. Among Gatsby's house servants, Nick Carraway is one of the few people at Gatsby's funeral. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button follows Benjamin as he goes through life aging backwards. His condition causes several problems, including being unable to attend college because he appears to be a crazed old man, and at age 60 he appears to be the same age as his son. Benjamin's memory eventually fades until he can no longer remember anything. One of Fitzgerald's famous quotes is, "Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat." He incorporates this attitude into his work frequently, for example, Gatsby's relentless pursuit for wealth and love. Fitzgerald lived in the Progressive Era. Development in American industry had just started to spread, and it led to many people to join the pursuit of wealth and prosperity. Many of Fitzgerald's works incorporate the American dream into his stories, a rags-to-riches mentality that gave hope to many people, especially after men like Andrew Carnegie became rich. Prohibition is often associated with the Jazz Age, a term coined by Fitzgerald himself. Several of Fitzgerald's books feature bootleggers and alcohol smuggling, which at the time was illegal. The fight for women's rights is also often associated with this era. Fitzgerald is seen by many as a literary legend. His chief talent was his ability to portray the high life he described in his books. Although his works at first seem to portray only the superficial realities of the time, he also addresses topics that are not time-sensitive. Many of the moral principles Fitzgerald teaches are issues encountered today. High schools and colleges all across the board remember Fitzgerald's legacy, whether they are reading The Great Gatsby or discussing the American Dream. Fitzgerald's writing offers memorable morals to his readers. Francis Scott Key Fitzgerald was named after Francis Scott Key, the author of The Star-Spangled Banner, who also happened to be his second cousin 3 times removed. He was also the first cousin 1 time removed of Mary Surratt, who was hung for conspiring to assassinate Abraham Lincoln.